Hey everybody, I'm Garrison, your faithful host of the "Can I Borrow Your Car" podcast. And today we are talking with my friend John Lusher, marketing maven, wizard of the internets, and
Maven, I like that.
yeah, an all around good guy from West by God, Virginia. John,
Dang Skippy. That would be me.
tell the people who the heck you are and what companies you own.
Well, I am the fortunate owner of the Social Buzz Lab, or as I like to refer to myself, I am the chaos coordinator. And there are days it's a lot more chaos than other days, but we wrap our arms around all things marketing related, primarily dealing and playing in the digital space because that's where everybody lives nowadays, as the saying goes, but also some traditional marketing as well as consulting work and just working with clients to really try to you know reach out and touch their customers from a marketing perspective and to not only build but maintain their brands as marketing and digital and AI and everything changes at a breakneck pace. So,
Cool. Well, just in case people haven't figured out by now, John um, helps me out with all of my marketing stuff. Um,
yes, it's so
because
much fun.
just because you're good at referrals doesn't mean you can't you can avoid doing the rest of it, right?
That's
Um,
true. You have to have the marketing as well as the referrals, or you should
so
have. Let's put it that way.
yeah, and so anyway, it's like I sent John a couple days ago, I think, this 6 Sense report about what's really happened in marketing. And
Hmm.
what had me click and go further was two reasons. Number one, a good friend of mine and a absolute mentor, Tim Hughes
Oh yeah.
from DLA Ignite, um, and Oracle before that. Tim is a kind of wrote the book on social selling, literally social selling.
Yeah. Great book, by the way.
Yeah, and at one point made the bad decision to certify this idiot from Roanoke, but luckily, him and his partner, Adam Gray, survived that cataclysmically bad decision. But Tim shared out this report, and when Tim shares something, I read it because Tim understands referrals,
Hmm.
even though his focus, more specifically, it's not like Tim doesn't do referral business, he totally does. But Tim is
Sure.
really in that social selling realm, working with companies and teams.
Hmm.
And so I dug into it and immediately said, "John, we have to do a podcast," right?
Oh yeah.
And the two things I noticed was that for the first time that I can remember and John can remember,
Hmm.
the buyer's journey moved back upstream, right? Because
Did.
we John and I have been, I mean, you can't tell, well, you can tell on his face that the hair's white, but, like, John and I have been doing this for a long time, and we have watched this buyer's journey, and
Hmm.
what we're really talking about, folks, is, like, when does the buyer feel required to reach out, right? What and
Hmm.
they for a decade, it has been moving farther and farther away from when they start the journey, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Right. This and I remember saying to John, "John, I just saw some research
Hmm.
that the buying cycle shortened and the the buyers are actually moving back upstream." And he was like, "Wow." So I sent it to him. He's like, "Yeah, we gotta do a podcast." And so I just wanna
Absolutely.
go a couple things, just throwing out some information there, and we're gonna talk about it. There's basically 4 things, John, in this first section, which is the buyer journey's moved upstream. We just hit that a little bit. Buyers move faster than ever.
Hmm.
Sellers enter way too late. This is not
Oh,
a
absolutely.
and this is not a new phenomenon, by the way. It's not a new
Yeah.
phenomenon. And AI has increased buyer confusion, not replaced research, right? And so,
100%.
like, when you looked at it, what came to mind for you as highlights about that first part of it?
Well, I think one of the things that stuck out to me, which is something that you and I have talked about, is for buyers, by the time they encounter you or your brand, they have already formed some opinions, made some decisions, decided, maybe not decided to purchase or decided on a path, but they've made some decisions. And they've done that long before they even know who you are, who your brand is, what your company is. They have done their research. And the tricky thing about it, and this is what keeps people up at night, they've done their research partially intentionally, searching, reading, whatever, but they've done research that they haven't even realized that they have done. And that comes from social, it comes from ads, it comes from things that they see that they may not be seeking out, but it's in their field of vision, for lack of a better way to say it. So your buyer already has a lot of information before they even know who you are. And that's the thing that for a lot of brands, they haven't even thought about that aspect of it.
Yeah, it's insane because and this morning I recorded a video this morning
Mhm,
and it was it was about some of this stuff, but like what people don't understand, and this is like the thing that really struck hit me, and small firms have got to know this.
mhm.
They've got to know this. 80% of the buyers are buying from a vendor they identified as their favorite before they ever reached out.
Yeah.
It's when they already know,
Mhm.
someone they already know and have a relation and it said in there, a personal relationship, right?
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so many people and firms are a great example. So many people think, okay, if I have this online digital presence, everybody will see me. Everybody will know who I am. No, nobody will see you. I hate to tell you. Um, but
If
at
you're
the
not
same
paying, nobody's seeing you.
That's right. It's a pay to play platform. It always has been. That's the dirty little secret. But it's not so much that they see you and know who you are, but that consistency of seeing you or that consistent, the other mistake that people think is, well, I'd be more widely known if I went viral. No, you wouldn't. I mean, it would be like 15 seconds of fame. People would know you for a short period of time. But the people that are consistently out there talking about fill in the blank, talking about their business, talking about how they help people, talking about why, the who, the what, the where, all of those things that people are interested about. It's relatable content, it's referable content. Because what you want is you want your name to come up or your brand's name, your firm's name. You want it to come up whenever they're having a conversation with somebody else. You want to be so well ingrained that they know you, even if they've never talked to you.
Well, like, and just to condense that, because I don't disagree at all, but like the research is really clear. They've already formed a preferred vendor list before they start
Yep.
search, right?
100%.
And 80% of the time, one of those people on that vendor list is in a personal relationship with someone on the buying team.
Yep.
Now,
Absolutely.
we're talking commercial sales now, so it's not as simple as knowing the mother or the father of a house. Like, it could be 8 or
Right.
9 people, so being known by one of the people on a buying team is not a cinch, but the statistics showed these are reported by buyers.
Yeah.
80% ended up doing business with that person that was known,
There you
right?
go.
So
Uh-huh.
so, like, a couple of things that I saw was this, is number 1, you are a complete fool if you think organic reach is gonna drive any kind of consistent deal flow,
No.
because by the time your little organic thing gets out there, they're
Mhm.
already moving down the
Mhm.
pipeline. Like, they're already moving there. That doesn't mean you don't have a chance. That does not
True.
mean you have a chance, because 20% of the deals aren't that inside person.
Yeah,
But
that's
I don't know
true.
about you, I'm not looking to fight for the 20% when everyone else has already been there.
No,
Now,
absolutely.
if
Nope.
if I get brought into the opportunity, I'm gonna scrap,
Well,
I mean,
sure.
I'll swing, but,
I'll
you know,
I'll step up to the plate and take my shot.
I'll I'll throw. Yeah, I'll throw hands, right?
Exactly.
But, you know, fundamentally, a couple things, right? So, how does this hit small professional service firms? So, a couple of points.
Mhm.
Number 1, they lack enterprise content and demand gen, which
Mhm.
generally is they're not spending enough money, right? B, they compete on expertise. However, if that expertise doesn't get you in that first group
Right.
before they're actively talking to
Mm.
people,
Yep.
if that expertise, which back to your point is like you have to be consistent with your content, you have to
Exactly.
build credibility so that you're valuable. I say this all the time in my system, but you have
Mhm.
to be worth meeting when they're not buying, right?
100%.
And
Absolutely.
and John has helped me personally and my firm understand how we can make sure that we have enough, and now God knows how much I have out there.
A lot.
A lot of content, video, blogs,
Mhm.
books, but like there's enough content out there that I often am having discussions about the buying process before it begins.
Mhm.
I'm brought in,
Exactly.
and when I'm brought in, because of some advantages that I have, I generally don't lose. I generally
Yep.
don't lose
True.
because, like, I sold copiers and I know how to design RFPs so that no one else gets shown the RFP,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Another thing that they add here is this, like, and you gotta remember, if you think expertise is gonna get you, that only matters if it's early. If that expertise doesn't get you in as the preferred vendor at the very
Mhm.
beginning, it has no value. They
No.
depend on late stage conversations. That's something you and I, having shared an experience selling copiers back in the day.
Oh, absolutely.
Late
100%.
stage conversations are rarely won. And then this is the big thing. Ready?
Mhm.
Buyers default to safe, known, trusted referrals. Right? Even though they do these buying processes because they're corporations and you have multiple people on
Mhm.
the buying team.
Yep.
Not everyone's making a decision, but everyone's influencing that decision. Like fundamentally, you need to be able to leverage sales as a full concept, meaning every part of your business being sales. And then when you look at the marketing,
Mhm.
right, you need to understand that if you're running a smaller firm, and John and I, we're available for $1 million a month consulting with large international conglomerates.
Absolutely.
Like, we are available. Like, we will invoice you today.
Have a go bag, can travel.
Yeah. However, we typically work with the smaller, more agile firms, right? And you have to understand that there's no shortcuts. Even
There
if
are
you
no shortcuts.
even if you're advertising what you think cut, meaning that your ads and your
Mhm.
content gets you in at a late stage,
Mhm.
when you're in that deal, you didn't shortcut the process, you paid to enter later.
Exactly.
There's
Yeah.
no shortcut.
No,
That like
there's
like,
not.
you and I own small businesses, and, like, I have for both of us, I have witnessed multi-year sales processes for our companies.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Looking at
absolutely.
different things. Like, and
Mhm.
we're not talking like 200,000, $1 million purchases,
Uh-uh.
but like you look at cameras, you look at different things like that. Our joint weakness for anything with an Apple logo on it.
True.
Like,
Guilty as charged. Guilty.
well, and you were the transmitter of the virus for me.
Yeah.
I'll never
Well,
forget.
to be fair, it was between me and Mike Cook. I mean, between the 2 of us, you didn't
Yeah,
have a hope or a prayer,
but
so
you explained it better. Mike was, now he didn't say it. He didn't use this word, but Mike was, "Hey, it's bitching." Right?
exactly.
But I'll never forget, John, it was it was more than a year ago.
Mhm.
I was like, "So why Apple?" And you were like, "I'm not smart enough to have to figure out how everything works together."
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, "Sold."
I've sold technology. I have a
Okay.
basic understanding, and probably one of the best days of my life is when I was able to walk away from Windows computers and never look back.
Yeah, no, like, bad. So,
So,
when you look at this,
mhm,
um, I think that ironically, like, it's a real razor blade for the owners of professional service firms right now, and
mhm.
also small business in general.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, because the the technology that allows us to create, we've never had anything like it before, ever.
Mm-mm.
Like, so
That is true.
the ability to create content is higher than ever, which
Uh-huh.
also means the volume of content is higher than ever.
Uh-huh. Which
When
means the noise is louder than ever. Yep.
right, and so, um, you I kinda talked about it this morning in my daily video, but there are no shortcuts,
No, and that's really one of the things, let
which
alone it
upsets people.
well, that's because, one of the greatest, marketing campaigns I've ever seen was for the office supply place and the easy button. We all want that easy button. We want our marketing to be easy. We want maintaining our presence on social media to be easy. So we think there's shortcuts. Okay, we do this and let's see what happens. Let's try this and see what happens. And that mentality is looking for shortcuts. And the thing about digital and social media, yes, it can result in direct sales. We've all seen it. We've all experienced it. Typically, though, it creates awareness and it builds not just awareness, but people start attaching more authority to you because they're seeing you day in and day out. And I think you said one of your either clients or prospective clients mentioned to you that he watches your daily videos.
Mhm.
Consistency. Now, granted, your daily videos don't take a long time to record. You sit in your office, you click record, you talk for 5 minutes about something, and you're done.
Mm.
And your team takes care of it. But it's that consistency that creates that awareness that once people actually have a conversation with you, a Zoom call or a face to face, they feel like they already know you really well
But
just because you've been consistent.
how many years did it take for you to convince me to do it?
Oh my God, so many years.
Like, it's really interesting because, I people that encounter me now and they look at the volume of content and they're like, "Oh my god, I could never do that." I said, "Well, like, you didn't know me when I was arguing with one of my best friends, John Lusher." You know, like, it was almost once a week we were meeting, and
Yep.
we were just kinda, like, sharing because we got backgrounds and referral stuff.
Hmm.
We were sharing stuff, and, like, I mean, you talked to me for at least 2 years
Hmm.
before I would even consider doing a blog.
That's true.
Like, because it started with
Yeah.
I hate social media, right? And I'm somebody that's a best-selling author on referrals, and I so when you look at it, right, so the bad news is if you own a smaller firm, a smaller business, w how realistic is it for them? So, like, you work at companies like mine, you
Sure.
work companies all over you've worked with all these different I mean, some of them big brands that people would know,
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
But, like, how how do you have that conversation? Because I tend to be just really brutally direct. I just break it off, and say, "Hey, it'll be alright." You know?
Yeah.
How do you have that conversation with the business owner
Uh-huh.
that's thinking that they can compete late in the sales funnel with the big conglomerations?
Well, what the conversation has to go back to a couple of things. One, if your intention, oh, all of a sudden we need to be marketing, we need to have a stronger social presence, we need to start posting every day. Okay, great. Welcome to the party. Glad you're here.
Yeah,
Uh,
and you know what they're saying? They're saying, "We need business now."
right. And that's where the
They're
part
not
of the
saying we need
conversation that's
marketing. They're not
the co-
saying we need market. They're saying we need sales.
well, it's like the old adage. Our salespeople only get out and make cold calls whenever they realize they're not going to meet their quota. It's the same with marketing. Oh, well, we only market and advertise whenever we realize that this quarter is going to suck and we need more business. Well,
And
that's great, but your
by the
quarter's
way
still going to suck.
by the way, cold calling is just really terrible marketing.
It is.
Really
Yep.
unpleasant,
Yep.
unfun market, but it's
And we've all done our share of it.
like everything's sales, but people are like, "Well, cold calling sales." I'm like, "No, Jack, that's the marketing part of sales."
Yeah, it is. It 100% it is. Well, and people that jump into marketing, jump into social media, jump into trying something whenever it is late in the game and business is down, the conversation has to be, I'm glad you're wanting to jump in, but here's the reality. If what you're doing today, you need to be looking 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the road for it to have any real lasting effect. Why do you think that even the largest, most well-known brands out there, like a Coca-Cola, why do you think they still market? Do you think Coke really needs to market?
I
I
don't know
mean,
that I don't know that they need well, actually, yes, I do. Damn it, they all need to market.
brand awareness,
That was a trick
consistency.
that was a trick question. You almost got me. Like,
Good.
this is not the
Everybody needs
stump
to
the
market.
chump. This is not the stump the chump sequence. Like, I just say, like, fundamentally, if you run a small business, especially if if you own a professional services firm, or you own a contracting firm, or you own you name it, right?
Mhm,
You gotta know who you are. You gotta know what deals you can win, and
mhm,
like, great
mm,
marketer,
mhm.
right? And greatest marketers always understand that you have to close sales, right? You have to close transactions.
Absolutely.
But great marketers are going to you pay them, and here's why you pay them. You
Mhm,
pay them so that they can put your messaging in front of the people that you have the highest probability of winning the type of business you need.
mhm. Yeah,
Now, you're only gonna win that business if you deserve to win it, right? And so, like I always say, like,
exactly.
like, if you've got a butter knife, stop hunting dragons.
Great way to put it.
Well,
Well, and if you have a professional services firm with a lot of employees and a lot of public facing people, whether they're advisors or they're part of the firm, but they're dealing with the public, granted, certain industries like professional firms, they have regulations they have to abide by. You can only post this, you can only say that, and that's true, but that does not prevent all, especially those public facing employees, by being out there and being active, having their face and name out there. Shoot, let's use LinkedIn as an example. Be out there commenting and sharing other content that you can share, but it's all part of that presence. That it's a consistency, and that is something that for almost 15 years now. Engage, be consistent.
yeah, it's so interesting because, I interact like you with a lot of small business owners,
Mhm.
and, I, like you, also ask unpleasant conversations like, "What's your ROI on your marketing?" And then they almost never know, ever,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
And this is a problem we had back when people were doing mailers, right?
Mhm.
Like, if you cannot quantify the impact of your marketing, you better really like your person. And, like, what's really interesting is, like, people sometimes make assumptions that I only do business by referral. And, like, that
Mm,
is that's almost 99.99% true, but what they don't understand is that I'm looking at a complete sales process. And they look at the volume of stuff I do on LinkedIn, they look at the volume of
mhm.
stuff I do on YouTube and things like that. And number 1, they make a mistake and think that it takes too long, that it takes too
Right.
much to right?
Mhm.
Second mistake they make is that I am depending upon that organic reach
Mhm.
to drive business.
Right. And that very rarely happens.
Yeah, but then they're like, "So what's the use of all of it?" I said, "Well, there's like, when I look at our strategy, which is pretty multifaceted, it's pretty good. It's about to get even bigger. In fact, we're about to start doing ads, right?
Mhm. Yep.
And the reason being is John and I have been designing, to his great, torture, but we've been designing this next level business,
Mhm.
and looking and exploring. What I would say to owners of professional service firms right now is this:
Mhm.
you have to be able to predict your pipeline. You have to be able to predict the top of your pipeline, meaning that
Mhm.
you're gonna have enough clients to
Yep.
meet, which is the middle, right? Then
Right.
you have to be able to measure the
Mhm.
effectiveness of the middle of your pipeline, meaning, can you transition from worth being interested in to worth
Mhm.
meeting to worth buying, right?
Mhm.
Then and marketing's not done then because sales isn't done. Then you
Exactly.
then you've got to be able to, number 1, make people, um, move through your delivery process, have a great experience, right? And then we want referrals.
Mhm.
But,
Yeah.
like, half the reason that Coca-Cola does so many ads, and this is my belief,
Mhm.
is and they're trying to do good ads because I think 50% of their message is to keep the Coke buyers
Mhm.
feeling good about being Coke buyers versus Pepsi buyers.
Oh, I
Because
like that.
people don't think, John, and I know they don't think about how social media and or
Mhm.
referrals, like, people like, "A referral is a deal." No, a referral is is a marketing process.
True. Mhm.
Like,
That's
it's
true.
got branding, it's got a
Mhm.
delivery system, it's got good follow-up or bad follow-up,
Yep.
it's a microcosm of marketing, but
Mhm.
people don't understand how to do the whole deal, and that's what I love about this
Mhm.
sixth sense thing, right? Because
Absolutely.
when you look at my book, "Can I Borrow Your Car?" When you look at what we're doing strategic referral team, what and what why it's why I love this survey so much. John, by the way, will make sure because he helps me. Him and Sammy will make sure that you guys can get a link to the survey to
Yep.
the study. But here's the thing. I don't know of anything that you can guarantee more to get you in that early vendor selection process
Mhm.
for relationships.
True.
Nothing. But you have to so and here's where people make a mistake. So I'm a we haven't talked about this one. You ready?
Oh
So
boy.
well, actually, we've talked about it with you and I've talked about it with my business because I am not anti-marketing, anti-advertising at all.
True.
I just want it to be good,
Mhm.
right? Basically, when you sell commercial stuff, which almost always, unless you're selling to very small businesses, like
Mhm.
that almost means there's multiple people in a buyer team, right? Half the reason that you've got to have a full on brand,
Mhm.
and I don't mean pitch deck, but on brand
Yeah.
in a way that they like, because that person who's advocating for you in
Mhm.
that top of the funnel conversation to get you into the 80% win seat that we all
Mhm.
want,
Yep.
right? Well, hey, I know we love John, but you know what? We're a company. We can't just give the business away. So yeah,
Right.
John's in, and we're going to talk to him, but we're going to have other people that we're going to talk to just to make sure we cover our ass, right?
Mhm.
But to get in that seat, you've got to have the other people that influence that buy
Absolutely.
comfortable. And if they don't know you personally, half of those people are not going to meet with you. They don't want
No, no, they won't.
Right. So how do they figure out if you're who the person that is referring you in
Mhm.
says they are? And that's where your content comes in, which is my strategy. Like
Mhm.
my strategy with everything I do up until now, we're about to do a couple of K a month on an ad buy, right? Because of a strategy we've been developing.
Yep.
Um, and that buy may or may not go up depending upon how we want it to go. But like
Mhm.
most of my social media strategy has been to make it easier for my kind of champion in the buying process to convince the other people that I was legit.
Exactly. Yeah, because that way the internals are selling you to the other internals. People within the
Right.
company, people within the firm are selling Mike Garrison and what he offers to other people within the firm. And once you get to that point, it's not a done deal, but it's kind of a done deal because when you have advocates inside of a firm or inside of a company selling on your behalf, that's exactly what we all want. And that only comes again with that consistency, with putting out the product, with being someone that is genuine, that takes the time to form those relationships and build those relationships.
It's 100%, and, like, so I wanna get even more granular because the new thing that I've got coming out is strategic referral team, right?
Yep.
This is a
Uh-huh.
passion project. You and I have been talking about it for a couple of years, and
Uh-huh.
we've invested a lot of time,
Yeah, more than a little. Let's say
and
it that way. More than a
I've
little.
invested a lot of money, like, tens of thousands of dollars, right?
Yep.
Um, but, like, now we're now we're getting into something for these smaller firms, which I think is even more important because when you think about ideal clients,
Yep.
okay, it I think that it becomes even more important with ideal clients, the ones you really want, the ones that
Mhm.
drive biggest lifetime values, right? The ones that you enjoy working with the most. I think it's even more important to check all the boxes, to make sure that you've got different types of content out there because you don't know what social media platform everyone on that team is using,
Yeah, that's true. Mhm.
right? And so you can decide to use hope as a strategy or you can use data as a strategy,
Huh.
right? I recommend data. So when
Data
you
data never data never fails you.
when you look at all this stuff, right? So
Mhm.
80% of the buying occurs with the vendor that someone on the buying team knew personally. When
Mhm.
you consider that now the buying process is actually
Condensed.
accelerating, then
Yep.
and this is the scary thing. I'm just gonna like point out the dookie in the pool.
Great.
Caddyshack reference.
Yep.
Caddyshack. Um, like you've never seen a swimming pool evacuate that fast. One of the
That's true.
greatest scenes in cinematic history.
Yep.
Um, Dookie. But
I wanna watch it again now.
yeah, but when you look at all of this stuff, I hate to say it, most firms don't have the resources to do a comprehensive marketing campaign for everything they could sell.
True.
And 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 I I will absolutely say that any form of marketing that you choose to undertake, and if you own a professional services firm like a CPA firm,
Uh-huh.
attorney, financial services, coaching, consulting, right? If you own one of those firms and you don't have referrals as a written down measurable part of your strategy,
Uh-huh.
you're an idiot, right?
Agreed. No,
You're an
I agree.
idiot. Now, you may still be a very profitable idiot, and, like, we all know people like that, but
Sure.
I'm telling you, like, if referrals are a significant portion of your business anyways, why the heck would you not systematize that a little bit? It won't get less human. But let's
Sure.
look at it. How in the world
Uh-huh.
can you make sure that your marketing spend, so working with a company like Social Buzz Lab, the retainer that goes up, and I love it, right? Right,
Yep.
right? When you work with them, like, John's not trying to find stuff that I'll accept for me. He's not helping
Sure.
me design marketing campaigns,
Mhm.
right? And he has less influence on the word of mouth referral stuff because that's what
Right.
I right? But I am a referral-based marketing company, sales company that hires a marketing company because
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of other stuff. Like, number 1, John and his team, the execution on the strategy is a big part of it.
Sure.
But the second thing is this, ideal clients with the ideal lifetime values that drive unimaginable prosperity, right? And
Mhm.
freedom in a small business,
Mhm.
that's what you need to focus your marketing team on.
Absolutely.
Like, the
And
Go ahead, go
no,
ahead.
I was gonna say, and back to another conversation that we've had not too long ago. You mentioned just a minute ago that, most firms don't have the resources, and that can be either personnel or financial resources, to market everything that they do, and that is true. However, if they approach their marketing as the strategy being only marketing to their ideal clients, the focus is much more narrow, and they can focus the efforts a lot better on their ideal clients instead of, oh, well, we're a firm that offers 10 different things. There's no way we can ever market all of those. You can't.
Well, I mean, and
But
that's a really good point to look at as a leader. Maybe you sell too much shit.
well, that's a different conversation. But if you're a firm and you're saying, well, I can't possibly market all of my services, okay, who's your ideal client? And I mean, really drill down into who it is, what does it look like, what services do they typically need and buy from you that makes you the most money? Well, there's your answer of what you market.
You
The
know,
rest
I
of the services are things that you talk about, but you don't spend marketing money and marketing efforts on every single service.
Yeah, because well, A, you
Mm.
can't, right? You end up
No,
just
of course
m
not.
mastering mediocrity, which
Mhm.
is how you lose. But here's the other thing, and I don't see marketing companies, except for yours, preaching this gospel. You ready? At the end of the day, you've gotta be able to deliver exceptional product or service. If because in a small business, retention is everything. You're not
Yes.
gonna have the budget, you're not gonna have the
Mhm.
resource, you're not gonna have the man or woman power
Mhm.
out-muscle Coca-Cola, right?
Exactly.
And so you've gotta win in the margins, and where you win is on exceptional quality and excellence. But
Mhm.
here's the thing, if you are trying to be an egalitarian with your marketing and equally help all the different things you do,
Mhm.
you're not gonna get better at selling any of them.
Exactly.
Right? And
Exactly.
and and I will tell you this, when you take the premier product, the thing that gives you juice, the thing that like, not a dream product that you've never sold before,
Mhm.
but like, the thing you're really good at, when you focus your marketing efforts on that, trickle down economics, Ronald Reagan shout out, but trickle
Yep.
down happens because when you expend your intellectual capital, your financial capital, your human capital
Mhm.
on defining and then creating all your systems around the most lucrative, most valuable business that you do,
Mhm.
you automatically get better at everything else.
Absolutely. And you don't even have to think that it's going to happen. It's automatically going to happen.
Yeah. My I always say that every organization is a sales organization, and the only thing that's essential in the organization is sales because it's everything. And we just finished doing a kind of a symposium last week. And I think I rocked the world of some of the folks there when I kind of explained that to them. I know I didn't surprise you, and I know you agree,
Mhm.
but, like, what people don't understand is this: it's a myth that all resources are created equal.
True.
It's an absolute myth, and
True.
so, like, you if you don't have a great sales pipeline, if you don't have enough business getting into meetings, if you don't have enough closed sales, if you don't deliver on those services and you
Right.
don't do a great job, everything fails. But here's the thing, if you've got a good enough process with
Mhm.
great marketing,
Mhm.
like you don't need to be great at sales because that's everything,
That is.
right? But I guarantee you that within the sales process, you do need to be great at marketing because that's how you get meetings.
Well, and and we go back to everybody wants everything to be easy, and back to the examples of sales. We both know from a background in commercial sales that consistency is everything.
Oh, yeah.
If you're busy as crap and you take 6 months off from prospecting or calling on people or calling on prospective clients or trying to work to build back up your pipeline, at the end of that 6 months, you're starting over from scratch. And we've all done that. We've all been there, and it really, really sucks. Whenever
It's
you have to start over from scratch, it
and it's
sucks.
dangerous. It's
Of
dangerous,
course, it's dangerous because
right?
one, you may get fired. Two, you may not be bringing home money next month, and it's just the consistency is literally everything. And one of my, kind of tying it back into talking about where you are in the sales process, consistency builds familiarity. Easy for me to say. which builds trust. And that trust gets you on the short list. But it's all part of that whole process.
It's all part of it. And that's
Yep.
why I say it's sales and not marketing. It's
Yeah.
all sales. And here's like if you're someone that thinks that sales is you just asking for the business and cold calling, if it works, that's great. It's great.
Right.
But
Sure.
here's the value of great marketing. Great marketing is the oil for your engine,
100%.
right?
Absolutely. Yep.
It's the oil for your engine, right? It's what makes either things run smoothly
Hmm.
or not.
Or not.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And I think that unfortunately, people tend to compartmentalize one or the other, sales or marketing,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
And they overweight to marketing too often, thinking that if I
Hmm.
just get enough opportunities,
Yep.
right, that I'm gonna
A
be
lot of
okay.
people think that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But like I hate to tell you, if those opportunities suck and they're not the right clients, like it doesn't matter if you close them all, you're going out of business. So
That's
let's
true.
let's go ahead and talk about practical stuff here. So from your perspective, and we're gonna get into AI here, right?
Hmm.
From your perspective, what are the dangers for these small business owners when it comes to AI and being able to have a healthy sales pipeline?
Well, a lot of dangers. Probably the first and most apparent danger is not paying attention to AI. Just saying, that's not something I have to worry about. Well, you're already lost. The other danger is not realizing that it's shifting away from SEO, search engine optimization, to AEO, which is AI engine optimization. And we've had this conversation, and we've done the practice or the process of going through this. Take your AI engine of choice: Perplexity, Chat GPT, Claude, fill in the blank. It doesn't matter. And ask it some questions. Ask it some questions about you. Ask it some questions about your firm or your brand or your company. See what is found. You may be really surprised, and not in a good way.
Mhm.
And ignoring AI, you do that at your own peril. It's just like we've said for years: ignoring marketing, ignoring a digital presence in marketing, ignoring SEO. You do it all at your own peril, because that's what's driving results of what people find whenever they search. I mean, if you think that, oh well, as people are going and doing a Google search on me, nah, not so much anymore. They're going
Yeah.
to Chat GPT and saying, "Tell me what you think about ABC Company."
Yeah, I mean, I hate to tell you, but, like, most of your clients aren't going to the library to figure out if you're legit, okay? Like like
It's like I had a friend of mine the other day. He's cleaning out his house after his mother recently passed away, and he said, "What should I do with this old set of encyclopedias?" I'm like, "Really?" I said, "Unless you find a library that wants them," I said, "the trash can is your best option." And it's kind of the same thing. I mean, if you're ignoring AI, well, I'm not going to have to worry about that with my business. Ooh,
well, that
that's
you better
dangerous.
have an offer that closes tomorrow,
That's true. And
right? Because, I mean, I'll tell you, like, I'm really confident that you got about 12 to 18 months
mhm,
to really take advantage of one of the biggest gold rushes in history,
mhm,
right? You don't wanna be
sure,
the dude that showed up a year after the gold rush,
right.
right?
Yep.
Number
Because
1,
at that point you are so far behind. Yeah.
well,
Now
you
there's a school of thought out there, and I'll throw this out there for people to chew on, or to think about while they're driving down the highway, tying it back to kind of borrow your car. There's a school of thought out there that there will be more pushback on AI, and that
okay.
people will not embrace it the way everyone thinks that they will. I'm not convinced that that's the case. I think
I don't
I think
care.
you're to have to I think you're gonna have to embrace it because you're not going to have a choice because it's literally going to be part of everything.
So I think the people that think it's not gonna have a big impact are idiots, right? And they are being willfully, purposely ignorant because the big mistake that you're making if you think AI is not gonna have an impact is you are judging AI by what it is now,
And you're being short-sighted.
and you're making strategy decisions, which we don't do based upon current.
That is
You
true.
like, you need to look 3 years down the road and
Mhm,
and do what's really hard, which
mhm,
is why people like John and I make a lot
mhm.
of money.
Exactly.
What you need to do is
Mhm,
be able to figure out, well, 3 years from now, what things do I need to be doing now that are gonna be relevant and powerful then? I don't have to
how can you position yourself for 3 years down the road?
Yeah, I don't have to know exactly what's gonna happen, okay? I
Right.
don't have to, but I do know this. I do know that the vast majority of people are completely using AI incorrectly
Mhm.
because
Yep.
it's not Google.
Right.
It's not a search engine,
Mm-mm.
right? I am using AI to drive process improvement
Mhm,
for my clients in their business.
mhm.
I'm workflows are everything, and you can use workflows for
Sure.
marketing too,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
But that's people don't understand. Like, the best marketers,
Mhm.
the ones that have the most clients are gonna be AI forward people. Like, I am and you know this, I spend an incredible amount of time using AI, mainly on strategy, mainly on designing systematic processes in minutes that it would have taken me months in the past.
Well, especially strategies. I recently did a strategy and proposal for a prospective client that I spent the time going through myself and basically sketching out what the strategy should look like in my mind. And then I went to, Chat GPT and I paid for the upgraded plan like you do. And I said, okay, here's the prospective client. Here's some background, some details. Here's the strategy that I have sketched out. It took that, showed me where it could be improved, showed me why it needed to be improved in those areas, and gave me some more comprehensive things to think about to either add or not add to the strategy. So it didn't develop it for me. I already had the bones of the strategy, but it helped me to think of things in a different way and come at it from a different angle and to look at that strategy. I don't want to say almost through a stranger's eyes, but it looked at it in a different manner and
Well,
gave me different
you
information.
can like, my in when you go a little bit deeper inside the tools of
Mhm.
ChatGPT,
Yeah.
right? There's some optional stuff, and I have tuned mine
Mhm.
to be much more not cynical, but to challenge, to
Yes.
like, a and you do not want AI to be a sycophant. Tell you what you want to hear, even though Sam
Uh-uh.
Altman's trying to tune that back up
Yep.
because that's how he gets more money.
Yep.
But, like, I'm here to tell you, I am walking I coach for a living, right? I'm walking all my clients, they through self-guided
Mhm.
workflows,
Which is huge.
right? That are broken up into sequences and that are powered by my intellectual property.
Right.
Right. They're they're designed to take advantage of my client's unique
Mhm.
background and experience, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And and I'm just telling you, eh, anyways, long story short, here's the deal. Like, when you look at this survey, when you look at this whole thing, what moves people back up is if they believe one of the vendors is an AI forward vendor,
Yep. And that's how people are gonna be evaluating you.
period. Like,
Mhm.
I'm telling you,
How good are you at using these tools?
if you're a coach, you have got to figure out how to create workflows. that will allow your clients to go through guided, self-paced discovery processes and
Mhm.
creative processes powered by your content. Because, like, all my book, all my writing from 30 years is in my
Mhm.
chat GPT.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
in there, and it's running it, but, like, it's it's insane. So when we look at all this stuff, right? When you look at the reality of all these things, like, if you were gonna tell people one thing to do to get started, what would you tell them?
With AI or with marketing?
Yes.
With AI, I would tell them to pay the whatever it is, 20, $30 a month or whatever, to upgrade their AI engine of choice to the paid plan. It's well worth it. You're going to spend more than that on Coca-Cola this month,
It's
right?
required. It's
Yeah, it
required.
is. That
Otherwise,
that's
you're
and
hiring a comedian to do marketing
and
otherwise.
start using it, start learning it. You know, don't fall for the people that you'll see on Facebook saying that they're AI certified and they're an expert and they can teach you everything. You just start using it. You will learn your rhythm. You'll learn how to use it. Ask other people how they're using it, tips, suggestions. That's from the AI perspective. Start using it, embracing it, and seeing what you can do with it. From a marketing perspective, it's never too late to start. Consistently creating content for yourself or your brand or your firm or your business is not rocket science. Trust me, if it was, I would not be doing it.
Me
It's
either.
not rocket science. I mean, you can literally, if you've got a phone, you can literally turn it to selfie mode and sit there and talk for a couple of minutes on something about your firm or your business or your passion that you can use as content. I mean, for years you've had or did have, maybe still have, on LinkedIn as far as fly fishing. And you've
Oh, yeah.
connected with people because of that. And it has nothing to do with business.
Yeah.
But the point being is you have to be consistently out there so that you're building that reputation and building it to where people are familiar with you. And that helps with your credibility because people are going to think of the people that they see and hear about and know about. They're not going to think of the person that has had a LinkedIn account since LinkedIn started and they haven't logged in since then. They're not going to think about them. It's just the
Yeah.
world that we live in.
I mean, there's only one shortcut if you wanna drive deal flow. There's only one shortcut. And
Yep,
then you gotta build and the caveat is that shortcut doesn't close business for you,
that's true.
but the shortcut is advertising with a really good firm,
Mhm,
is having a firm do it for you,
mhm.
right?
That's true.
And and by the way, I just wanna state, like, multiple best-selling referral author, right? I just wanna
Mhm.
state there's nothing wrong with advertising. John's gonna be doing, was are we starting with 2K a month?
I think
He
that's the plan. Yep.
yeah.
Mhm,
So John's gonna be running a advertising budget for me. Oh my
mhm.
god, best-selling referral for advertising. What are you doing? Well,
Mhm.
I'm doing a unique strategy based upon what John and I are really good at,
Yep.
and if you want access to that strategy, don't ask me, pay John. Because
Amen.
if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you to go, do some
Talk to
stuff.
John.
Yeah, well, if you've
I
done
am
it,
more than happy to have a
yeah,
conversation.
but, like,
Mm.
but this is the thing, right? At the end of the day right now, if you are in a professional services firm, CPA, legal, any kind of consulting, any time of coaching, financial services, commercial insurance, if you sell stuff that costs real money, right?
Mhm.
That people just don't walk into a showroom and buy,
Yep.
right? You have to start now. And I don't,
True.
I'm just telling you, I don't care what you do first.
Mhm.
I don't care what you do first because whatever it is going to suck.
And it's okay to suck.
Well, it has to.
Yeah. I mean, we've all sucked at publishing content. And
Well,
don't worry, if you record a video, don't worry if you flub a line or if you hear somebody in the background because you're working from home, nobody cares. It's
Well,
authentic.
most of my videos are recorded at, like, 4 AM.
Yeah, that's a different story altogether.
Yeah, but it's beautiful.
Yep.
Here's the
It's
thing,
quiet.
like, I mean, I had somebody say to me, um, it was within the last 2 weeks, right?
Mhm.
And they don't know you, John. I mean, they knew I had somebody, they didn't know it was you.
Right.
And
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh my god, I just can't do everything you do." And I'm like, "Well, of course you can't."
Nobody could,
Like like,
because
I
that's
said
all you'd be doing.
I said, like, "Do you think that I started where I'm at right now? John,
Exactly.
how long did it take you to
It
get me to
took a
do
while.
even I think it was just 1 blog entry.
Yeah,
How
it took
long
quite
it
a
took
while.
years.
Mhm.
It took years, mainly because I get a ton of business by referral and I didn't have to do anything.
Right.
Well, but now these people looking at me and they're like, "Oh my god, you've got this and this and this and this and this."
Yeah.
And they're like and they're thinking because of their own current level of expertise, they're like, "Mike spends 30 hours a week doing that."
Exactly.
Well, like,
No,
what they
no, no, Mike hires somebody, and we have a strategy,
yeah,
and just because you see it everywhere all the time doesn't mean that Mike's spending 30 hours a week doing it.
yeah, but I create the content.
You create the content, but the systems are in place to
100%,
manage that content, and a
100%,
strategy is in place to drive that content.
and that strategy is
Mhm.
collaborative.
It 100% is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I was telling them, like, I said, "My first blogs," and John will know this, my first blogs took hours for me to do.
Yep.
Hours. I if it takes longer than 15 minutes now,
You're not.
something something's wrong. And somebody's like, "Well, how do you write a blog in an hour?" I'm like, "Write 300."
Mhm. Yep,
Right?
exactly.
Like,
True.
I think I even told you I'd never have a YouTube channel years
Yep,
ago.
and now you've got one, and we're talking
Okay.
about TikTok now.
Oh, yeah. Like, well, I'm like, I want to compete
Mhm. That
for
that's
my
just it.
client wherever they are,
Mhm. You
right?
have to.
And that's the thing. So, John, what's your one before we get into how do they contact you,
Mhm.
um, but, like or at the same time, but, like, what's the one thing that you want them to do now? The listener. This is an owner of one of those firms, law firm, accounting firm,
Mhm.
financial services firm, coaching consulting firm. What's the one thing you want them to do?
Think about, and I mean truly think about, what type of content are you comfortable creating? It may be the written word. Great. Good for you.
Beautiful.
Nothing wrong with that. That's just it. You may enjoy being on camera and recording videos. Great. Then that's your path. It may be a combination, or maybe you want to start out with something that's simple, like writing an article or writing some posts, and then see and go from there. But think about what you're most comfortable with, because that's going to be the easiest for you, and there won't be any internal resistance if it's easy for you. And what you enjoy doing. I mean, doing video is easy, but a lot of people still just don't enjoy doing video. Okay, great. Then focus on what you're comfortable with. And this is perfect timing because we're recording this, in early December. Once you think about what you're really comfortable doing from a content perspective, just sit down, get a cup of coffee, get a beverage of choice, golf somewhere quiet, and just sit down and think, okay, I'm heading into a new year, heading into a new month. How can I create more of my own content and put it out there? And what am I trying to achieve with it? And yes, we all know you want more business out of it. So mark that off the list, because that's not what you're trying to achieve with it. Um, but just sit and think about what you're comfortable doing and kind of sketch out. It can be on a piece of paper, it can be an Excel spreadsheet. Just list out, here's what I'm going to do, and make it a goal for yourself. that I'm going to produce this content that I enjoy doing X number of times per week. It can be
And
one, it can be seven, it can be 20,
yeah,
whatever you're comfortable doing.
you don't even
And
have to enjoy
yeah.
it, just do it.
Well, and if you will do it and consistently stick with it for 90 days, you're going to find that it has become a habit. You enjoy doing it. It's not as painful as you thought it was, and it is going to pay off.
Yeah. I mean, marketing's a sport, right?
It is.
You
You
got
either are part of it or you're watching, you're either in the parade or you're watching it go by.
correct. Like, so the thing I would share with people, just riffing on that just a little bit
Mhm.
is this. Um, it is not too late.
No, never.
It's not
Mm-mm.
even close to too late, and we don't John and I don't have enough time to share with you the conversations we've had about what we think the timelines are,
That's
but it's
true.
not too late, and it's not gonna be too late a year from now. The difference
Mhm.
is this, you ready? There is a skill component to this if you're running a small business, because
True.
your advantage is you're agile and you're smaller and
Mhm.
you could be more targeted, right?
Mhm.
But you've got to learn to dribble the ball, and, like, one of the excuses people use to not get started is they're not good enough,
Mhm.
and my flip to that is you're never gonna be good enough until 6 months to a year after you've started it, and that's what
Exactly.
I know you talk to people about me and what's
Mhm.
happened, but
Sure.
how many years down this process are we?
Well, we're what, 5 plus years
5 plus years.
down this
Like, it wa
process.
like, you were a therapist the first year because
And
I was 100% by referral guy, and I'm like,
and you
"Law."
didn't start doing the daily videos till a few months ago,
Correct, and,
almost
like,
5 years later.
yeah,
So,
and they're making me money,
yeah.
right? But that's the thing is, like, folks, they're making me money because I have prospects that
Right.
are looking at them. 'Em. They're not making me money because people find me there,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
And, like, you gotta understand, it's like, if you want guaranteed business, you have to pay for it.
Yep.
And you pay for it either with time, which is what
Mhm.
we're talking about, being organic,
Right.
creating a language and things like that, or you pay for it with access through advertising. And please God, if you're going to buy advertising, interview and get referred to really good advertisers. Because the
Absolutely.
because like I'm here to tell you, if you don't know your target market,
Or your ideal client.
like if you don't know those things,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter how good John is at Social Buzz Lab. Like, you're basically trying to have him win a fist fight, with a T-Rex with, as a
True.
paraplegic. Like, it's just not gonna
Mhm.
work, and so
And
that
and the dirty little secret is people think, "Oh, well, I don't wanna spend all that money on marketing and advertising," but they never stop and think, A, how valuable an hour of their time is that they spend on other activities. The best thing you could do as a business owner is, okay, I'm worth $250 an hour. Okay. Then look at your calendar each week and see if everything that you're doing off of that calendar is making you more than 250 an hour, but you don't want to pay for marketing. You can pay with your time, which you're not tracking unless you're an attorney, or
yeah,
you can pay to have marketing done professionally and done very well and advertising to go along with it.
absolutely. It's
So,
so here's my takeaway for everybody. You ready? One of the stupidest things you can do when you run a small business is trying to sell to everyone,
absolutely,
right? And so,
because you'll suck at it.
yeah, like, you know, I I talk to people in a new thing that we have coming out, right? It's about what is the average value lifetime of an ideal client?
Hmm.
And these strategies in if you're a small business or even like a medium business,
Hmm.
all of your marketing should be designed for your ideal clients because
Yes,
because
agreed.
those are the ones that emotionally give you the payoff that carries you forward when it's hard,
That's
right?
true.
right? So if you're a financial advisor and you feel like you're running a 7-Eleven, you're not talking to ideal clients.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, right? You should be running something else. But,
Uh-huh.
I just would tell people, get started. For God's
Yeah.
sake, get started, right?
Get
Follow
started. Now's the time.
John, where can they find you? Give them all the particulars, and since you're my guy, feel free to make sure that every possible way that you could be, because
It'll
newsflash,
be in the show notes, I guarantee you.
John's my
We
John's my marketing guy.
Our website is webuildbuzz.com. You can find me on pretty much all of the socials. I do not dance on TikTok. I hate to disappoint you.
We
But
don't
you can reach out to me, John at webuildbuzz.com. So
Yeah, or if you're kinda shy, right, you can reach out to me, and
that's
I'll
true.
introduce you to John, and then I'll take credit.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Alright, John, this has
Good
been aw
stuff, man.
it's,
Thank you.
it's pretty cool to be here 5 years later, isn't it?
It is. It's a full circle moment. We finally gotten to where you are all in, and it's only taken 5 years.
Yeah, well, we're not done. There's more to come.
I love it.
Alright, thanks, brother.
Thanks, man. Talk soon.